Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing our look at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition Season 2 Thunderzord. We are continuing our look with the Black Lion Thunderzord and the Pink Firebird Thunderzord. As you can see, they come in similar packaging to the Griffin and Unicorn Thunderzord, with the only real differences being the backs to both of these, with product shots for our individual Zords. So you can see here the Lion and Firebird accordingly. So without any further ado, let's get these opened and take a look at them. So first up we are going to have the Firebird Thunderzord, which is obviously the Pink Ranger's Zord. Interestingly enough, this seems to be the Zord which comes with the most accessories. I don't know if that's because Playmates felt that pink doesn't sell, or if the Pink Zord had the least play value. I don't know. And now why I didn't get them, the Season 1 Pterodactyl Zord was very much the same. It seemed to have all of the relevant accessory pieces. So Playmates seem to be keeping that theming for Season 2. Everything is tied in with those god's awful cable ties. And here we have the Firebird Thunderzord out of its packaging. First up, accessory wise, it comes with the staff for the Zord, which clips together like so. There is an opening at the top which will allow for the tail of the Firebird Thunderzord to clip into it, sort of. It doesn't peg in that well at all. It's very, very loose, which is a little disappointing. Would have been nicer if there was a tighter fit there. There's also a peg on this so that it can store on the bottom of the Firebird Thunderzord. The Zord also comes with 5, I guess about an inch tall Ranger figures. They're made out of very bendy plastic with minimal paint apps on them. They're nice to have. Personally, I think I would have preferred seeing these come with their individual Zords. I think it would have added a little bit more play factor to each Zord if they could have had their Ranger. Now, I know the Pterodactyl Megazord came with similar miniatures. I don't know if they're the exact same or if these have been remolded and posed. They're nice enough. As I said, I definitely feel that they should have come with their individual Zords. As a result, the White Ranger doesn't get one, which is a little disappointing, and I think it is quite frustrating for children who, you know, are collecting all of these to not be able to have the White Ranger to go along with these. Firebird Thunderzord also comes with these feet / missiles. They're not spring loaded, they're just a push fire, which is a little disappointing. They don't really fire all that well. It says just push. Oh yeah, you've got to really give it some real force to get any launch out of them. Would have definitely been nicer if we could have seen a spring-loaded missile on these in the same fashion as that Griffin Thunderzord. That definitely would have added to the play factor for this. And as I mentioned as we were unboxing it, this is obviously one of the smaller Zords. It has probably the least play features as it is. There's some nice articulation here with the wings, primarily down to the transformation feature for the Zord, more than anything else. There is a couple of pegs here. I don't know if they're... so they're classed as a landing mode strut, so you can sort of pose the Zord, I guess, which is a nice feature. Would have perhaps maybe been nicer if we could have incorporated these to act almost as feet. As it is, they just sort of plug underneath the wings and act as sort of missile launchers under the wings. Definitely would have been nice if we could have had them connect to the feet as well. As I said, the tail does pop off and can be fitted into the staff, but there is a very, as you can see, there's no friction there at all. So it definitely needs a tighter fit, which is a bit of a shame. It's hollow on one side, which is pretty standard with toys these days. I do feel that this could have come with the Megazord, or the Red Thunder, whatever it's called, solely because obviously that's one of its main features. Again, I'm assuming it comes with the Firebird Thunderzord because of its punitive size and lack of real playability. This is definitely not worth that £20 price point. There's nothing here which really makes that worthwhile. Close to that price point, even a £15 price point would have been maybe a little too generous on this. I think you could have easily gotten away with a £10 price point on this without any loss. However, again, that price point of £20 is really £100 for the entire Zord, and that's spread across 5 different Zords. So some of that cost that's lost here is going towards one of the other Zords, so you kind of offset it on that grounds. But as it is, there's not a lot here, so I do understand why some of the additional accessories have come with this Zord to obviously boost out that price point and its worth. But yeah, I feel without spring-loaded missiles, it really is a bit of a miss, which is a shame. There's a couple of bits here which really could have just really helped, enhanced and pushed this forward. But there we have the Firebird Thunderzord. We do get the instructions as well, which show you how to store and put things together if you wish, with our combined mode instructions on the back being the same as all the other Zords so far. Then we get our Lion Thunderzord. Instructions showing its play features and its disassembly instructions. And then on the back, same instructions as always. So, straight out the packaging, we get our Lion Zord, and we get our helmet. And the Lion Zord also comes with the Megazord's sword. I presume this comes with the Lion Zord because this is what forms the arms and the hands. Arguably, if from a price point, I would have argued that maybe this could have gone with the Firebird Thunderzord, and that again with the Red Ranger, and this still probably would have been a closer and more reasonable price point to what it already is. But it is what it is. It's made out of a black plastic for the sheath with some gold plastic either end. It's a reasonable gold. There's sort of a pearl essence to it. And it's definitely more of a bronzy gold than the typical cheesy gold you see with a lot of gold plastic. The sword's made out of a solid silver plastic or grey plastic with a little plastic gem insert there. which is nice enough. It fits in well enough as it is without any, and it does lock in nicely. In fact, there's even a little lip there on the sword to ensure that clips and locks into place. As for the Zord itself, the helmet doesn't raise up as it has done on some other versions, nor does this piece necessarily unclip. You can store this on the back of the Zord, supposedly. Oh yeah, there's lips on either side of the helmet which clip around here, so you get the storage there, which is a decent touch. The sword itself is nicely presented with some really nice detailing on it. It's minimal on the decals, and instead we actually get some really nice paint apps on the Zord. The gold's lovely throughout. We get a nice vibrant red for the eyes, really nice gloss green for the rest of the lion Zord. So storage wise, we are supposed to be able to lift this up, twist it around, and you are then able to clip and carry the Megazord sword on top. So there's a real nice carry feature here. It has no sort of launching missiles or anything like that, which is probably understandable given the Zord itself. Would have been nice if this could have opened and maybe stored at least one of these ranges in it. It would have been a little too but it is what it is. It lacks any real play features to it, where the other Zords have had missile launchers, which are reasonable enough. And again, it definitely comes back to that idea that I think, you know, this should have come with Firebird, that should have come with the Dragon, and perhaps given this a missile launcher that could have clipped to the top here, would have added to the play features and the playability of the individual swords. Because, you know, from a child standpoint, paying for, you know, additional paint apps isn't something a kid's going to notice or appreciate. They're just going to realize that actually this guy fires missiles where, you know, he doesn't do anything. And if you've only got one or two of the Zords to play with, it lacks that interaction, which is a little disappointing. This obviously does also fully disassemble for its Megazord mode, which we will explore later in a future video, but you can obviously pull it apart if you want to play with it, like so. Otherwise it all just clips together using friction pegs. If you get, it's nice that the decals are on both sides. Would have been very easy for them to skip that. Assuming that comes off for the transformation, but it is a little frustrating there. But then that all clips nicely together. So there we have the Lion Thunderzord and the Firebird Thunderzord. Both are okay. I really do feel that the Firebird Thunderzord doesn't really offer anything for the price point on its own. And it's definitely a case of you're only getting the value out of this when you consider it as the entire Megazord. The missiles, without being spring-loaded, lack any real full play features. Lion Thunderzord looks fantastic. I really love the colours, paint apps and everything else they've done on this. They've got some nice detailing throughout. It's a large chunky Zord. The sword is nice, however, without it having a missile or some kind of play feature, it is sorely lacking. This doesn't even have rollers, so you can't even roll it along the floor. This comes off a little too easily, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, you know, they're essential if you're planning on getting the entire Megazord. However, if you're looking at getting just one Zord for a kid, I think there are better options so far. But there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay safe and remember, freedom is a right, not a privilege.